You know what grinds my gears? I've never said that before. It's kind of stupid. Everybody always wants to tell you exactly how to live your life, as though you don't have the authority from God to design your own. They tell you the same exact things over and over and over again. So many times that even sometimes you're convinced, even though you know that's not right for you, that it's just not the path that you need to be taking, but somehow you're still convinced that maybe, I think they're right. That's the way of the world. I can't trust myself because, I don't have enough experience. And I'm here to tell you, you do have enough experience. You know exactly what you need for yourself, and exactly how you do it depends completely on you. You have skills and attributes given by God that if anybody ever tells you that you should live otherwise or do things otherwise in some other manner or some other way, they are not for you. They are not your friend. And sorry, it's not focusing. What is going on? And you can tell me whatever you want. This video is going to make a lot of people angry, but it's 100% true. By God, we know exactly what we need to do to live a good life, to become successful, and to generate and provide fruit in our lives for ourselves and for our families. Tell me how to live. I dare you. All growing up in elementary, I did not like to listen. I hated school. I loved the social aspect. I loved going to school because of the social aspect, but I hated doing the homework. Schoolwork really didn't bother me. Sitting down and actually doing things didn't bother me. I remember I was the quickest person to finish all the tests. I was the quickest person to finish the in-class assignments. And I would get 100% on all of them. And to me, that was a huge accomplishment. But you see, I also had an issue. That issue is that while I loved problem solving, I also loved socializing. I loved to be a part of the community. I loved to make friends. I loved to experience things. I loved to just talk and play jokes and mess around. And unfortunately, it got me in a lot of trouble. But at a certain point, because of this, there were some issues. And so the teacher started looking for other alternatives. And I kid you not, the alternative that they provided was that they put me in a class where I was the only person who wasn't deaf or blind. I was the only person. And now you got to tell me, how does that help a kid who wants to play around and have fun? How does that help any kid? In fact, from that point on, I was bullied. I was mistreated. People called me dumb. They called me stupid. And it's funny at first until you get called it so many times that you start to believe it. Started to fail in my classes because I wasn't getting the same attention all the other kids were getting. So year after year, they started to think and treat me as though I was lesser than. I was put in all these special classes. I was put in with all these special teachers. What I really needed was some special attention, someone one-on-one. I needed to be limited by my distractions, but instead I was put in with a bunch of kids who learned completely different from me. And in so many ways, I've felt so bitter about it my entire life, but at the same time, as I've grown up, I've become a greater man, I've realized to myself that saved my life. And I'll tell you exactly why. School, although it is good, learning is good, education is the greatest thing in our lives, school sets boundaries and walls. I saw a video of an ant, and a person drew a blue circle around this ant. And when that circle was drawn, the ant felt it could not escape. School is the same exact way, and you don't believe me? Let's look back to who founded it. John D. Rockefeller, who said, "I don't want a nation of thinkers, I want a nation of workers." And where did he get this school system from? It came from the Prussians, who at the time felt were lacking in military superiority. They wanted workers. They wanted military. They wanted soldiers. They didn't care about thinkers. They didn't care about problem solvers. They didn't care about people who wanted to move forward. They needed foot soldiers. They needed units. They needed pawns in the system. So school designs you in so many ways, and quite literally, to be lesser than what you could have been. Limiting your divine potential, your divine capabilities to achieve greater heights and feats, far greater than anybody even understands, because we've all been tainted. We've all been locked down in this box. I grew up hating the school system. By the time I graduated high school, I was in deep trouble in habits and behaviors. I wanted so badly to achieve so many other things. I wanted to be a great entrepreneur. I wanted to be an influence. I wanted to be someone people could look up to. I realized, and I looked around at the influences in my life, all the people who went to college really didn't need college. All the business owners I knew didn't need college. And some of them didn't even go to college and were some of the most successful people I knew growing up. I looked up to these people and I wondered and I asked myself, why is college so important if they themselves did not go and are still successful living the lives that I would want to live? Needless to say, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go to college, because I really do believe that some people need college. Everybody thinks differently. But if you're watching this video, I can automatically assume you are in the same mindset that you want to achieve greater things. You don't want a ceiling of growth. You don't want a limiter to your progression. You don't want a cap on how much money you can make. You just want to be the greatest version of you. My friends, my family, everybody watching this video today, you don't need to go to college. Everybody wants to tell you what's right for you. But you just keep telling yourself, I don't want to go to college. Doesn't feel like that's something I need. And everybody else tells you, let me emphasize else, because they aren't you. They tell you to go to college so that you can get a 9-to-5. And you're like, well, I don't want to go to college. What I want to do doesn't require college. And they say, well, just go to college anyways, just in case, as a backup, as if they do not believe in your capabilities to achieve greater heights. I'm not saying that life without college is any easier. I'm not saying life is going to be easy regardless. But I am saying this. I keep getting told the same thing over and over again. And I'm sure a lot of you experience the same thing, where everybody thinks that you should go to college, you should go through the ways, the system, the uniform path of the world. But it's never been so easy to become a successful millionaire, a successful entrepreneur without school. With or without it, you can be successful. The average 22-year-old, I'm almost turning 23. And the average 23-year-old right now has $80,000 to even $100,000 of debt, probably more because of college. I have no debt, and I'm working 24/7 on my goals and on my passions and on building a business. By the time a lot of those people are graduating, by the time anyone graduates, maybe even a doctor, 8 years of work, hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, I will get to that point where I'm making just as much as them, or more by the time they graduate, if I'm just focused on my dreams and on my goals, and if I'm working on it consistently. But there are two mindsets. The people who go to college aren't 100% sure, or they do have an idea of what they want to do, but it requires college. But there are people who don't go to college, who have a different kind of drive, who have a different kind of motivation, who want something different. And neither person is less than the other. It's just that they think completely differently. Who are you to judge someone else because they have a different mindset? They have a different goal. They have a different vision of their future. See, in the past, it was all about getting a job, going to college, getting a job. And you could provide for a family working at a factory. You could provide for your whole entire family working at a 7-Eleven. And you could have a nice home, a nice car, and life would ultimately be good. It'd be comfortable. Today, it's completely different. If I worked at 7-Eleven, I might as well be living on the street. Even with the college degree, it's hard to find a job that can provide a life that is even capable of comfort, that is even capable of providing for a family. The world isn't about families. They don't care about family. So why would they give you an opportunity to provide for them? The average American is making $30,000 a year. But in order to really, truly live comfortably, you have to be making 6 figures or more. This is an honest fact. My girlfriend, and I don't even know if I should be saying this, but she was telling me about an assignment she had in her class for, I think it was for business management. And the assignment was to go and look at jobs you could get after you get your degree. Exciting, right? The boundless, unnumbered opportunities to fulfill your dreams, your life. Sorry, I was just checking to see if the camera's on. So many opportunities. She looks and she's looking at all the jobs, she's scrolling, she's happy, but suddenly that smile starts turning to a frown. What does she realize? Not a single job opportunity, even with the degree, was going to provide her more money than what she was currently making as a piano teacher. What nobody will tell you is that the economy rewards more the people with true valuable skills than people who go to college and go through the system. The world provides more opportunities, provides more money, provides more comfort. See, anybody going to college will get a job. They're in thousands of dollars in debt. They have to pay it off. But you know what? They also have to use the job because they have a degree that if they don't use, they wasted all that time. That job will never allow them to make $1 million. That job will never allow them to make $200K a year, to make $10,000 a month. That job will never provide that life for them. They are completely damned. This is Satan's plan, is it not? To damn an individual so they cannot progress any further. But God knows our potential. He knows we can be so much greater. If you yourself don't want to live how everybody else is telling you how to live, then don't live that way. Because it's not for you. That life is not for you. It never was and never will be. You've got to wake up and realize and set your priorities straight. What do I want for my life? Has God not given you the image of what you can be? Do you even deserve to have any unsurety? Maybe I'll go to college just as insurance. Do you realize how damning of a mindset that is? By going to college in submission, just in case I'm not capable of what God tells me I'm capable of. Tell me why that's good. You don't need to do what they tell you to do. If you feel like you should go to college, go to college. Good for you. There is so much to learn. And that's what I'm all about. But if you feel like you shouldn't, there's also so much to learn outside of college. Information has never been more accessible in the world. Remember, the generation telling you what to do with your life is not the same generation that you live in. They had to go to college. They had no other option. That's how you lived a good life. We're in a completely different generation today, the internet generation. It has never been more possible to become bigger, to be more visually appealing to other people. It's never been so possible for millions of people all around the world to see you in just 24 hours. It's never been so possible. If you cannot provide and create fruit out of a life like that, then I'm sorry, you're doing something completely wrong. You are completely lost in your mind. You've been possibly infected by the system. I'm so excited. This is the day you redeem your dreams. My name is Gilbert Bowman. Watch another video. I've got so many just like it, and I'll see you in the next video.